of Indonesia. In the mark of the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Mexico and Indonesia on this very special year, we will highlight the cuisine of Mexico and Indonesia in 2 sessions. In our first sessions today, with the experts from the School of Tourism from Universidad de Colima, we will take you to explore the flavors of Mexico. But before we start, let us give the floor to our honorable guest. First, I would like to invite His Excellency Ambassador Armando Alvarez, Ambassador of Mexico to Indonesia, to give his remarks. Ambassador, the time and space is yours.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Abby. Selamat pagi, teman-teman. Buenas noches, amigos. It is a great pleasure to greet you all at this first session of Exploring the Flavors of Mexico and Indonesia, a series of webinars held by the Schools of Tourism of the University of Colima and Atma Jaya Catholic University of Indonesia. The Embassy of Mexico in Indonesia is very proud to be co-sponsor of this event. Mexico's cultural heritage, recognized and celebrated worldwide, was acknowledged by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage in 2010. This distinguished recognition confirms the depth and richness of the Mexican gastronomy, which is deeply rooted in centuries of history and cultural diversity. The fusion of indigenous ingredients and techniques with those that came from Europe, Africa, East Asia, and the Middle East has given rise to a remarkable tapestry of flavors, textures, and aromas that continue to captivate the palates of connoisseurs across the globe. Similarly, Indonesia's cultural landscape is an exquisite mosaic reflecting the country's remarkable diversity, multiculturalism, and abundant natural resources. Indonesian cuisine stands as a testament to the nation's cultural fusion with influences from neighboring countries as well as Chinese, Indian, Arab, and European traditions. The use of aromatic spices, vibrant herbs, and fresh ingredients creates a harmonious symphony of taste that delights the senses and showcases Indonesia's culinary prowess. We will embark on a journey of discovery, celebration, and friendship. Our esteemed speakers will delve into the depths of Mexican and Indonesian cuisine, exploring the ingredients, techniques, and cultural significance that make them truly exceptional. We invite you to embrace this opportunity to learn, to connect, and to savor the vibrant tapestry of flavors that unite us. And I say unite us, since we should not forget that the cuisine of both countries has been historically enriched with ingredients and techniques from the other. What would be of the mole poblano, one of Mexico's most celebrated dishes, without the clove, pepper, and cinnamon that the Manila galleon brought from the Molucca Islands, or the Spice Islands in Indonesia, to Mexico since the 16th century? What would be of the delicious Indonesian desserts and drinks without cocoa, avocado, and many fruits that the galleon brought from Mexico, along with several chili peppers that are today used to prepare spicy sambals or Indonesian sauces? Hopefully, this historical interaction will be part of the deliberations of this seminar. May this event be a catalyst for further strengthening the bonds of friendship between Mexico and Indonesia. Let us use the power of gastronomy to promote cultural exchange and deepen the understanding between our two nations. Terima kasih, muchas gracias, and may this seminar be a resounding success.
Thank you, Ambassador Armando Alvarez, for your insightful words and your presence with us today. In continuation, I am honored to give the floor to Dr. Eko Widodo, Dean of the Faculty of Business and Communication Science of Atma Jaya Catholic University of Indonesia. Sir, the time and space is yours.
Okay, thank you, Afio Nita Putri. His Excellency, the Ambassador of Mexico to Indonesia, His Excellency Armando Alvarez. Good morning. Also, good evening to our friend from School of Tourism, Universidad de Colima, Mexico. It's a great honor to us that we can doing this seminar about the culinary in Mexico. For us, especially Faculty of Business Administration and Communication Sciences, Atma Jaya Catholic University of Indonesia, Mexico has a very special position in my heart. Because the first dean of this faculty is the former ambassador and the former Indonesian ambassador to Mexico. He was the first Indonesian ambassador that established diplomatic relation between Indonesia and Mexico. So Mexico is not the other from myself. The second is more important related to this seminar is about the food. As you know, as His Excellency Ambassador Armando Alvarez mentioned, that in Indonesia, almost of the Indonesian territory today, the food served always contain chili as the one of the main ingredient in that foods. Even though chili plant do not originate from Indonesia, the chili is the main ingredients in our food. The chili originates from Central America, from Mexico. Yeah, the chili brought to Indonesia by European people during the colonial era. Since then, chili plant have spread widely throughout Indonesia. Every people, every region in Indonesia have the chili in these food ingredients. And now, as the ambassador already mentions also, that spicy food is one of the characteristic of food from Indonesia. Indonesian food recognized by the spicy food. So, the webinar is important for us because with this webinar, we can trace our history, especially our history related to the food. Yeah. Chili now is the part of Indonesian food, is the part of our history. So, understanding the Mexican food is also important for us because it's also our history. Chili is from Mexico, from the Central America. So I hope that the mutual understanding between us, that we know about our roots, our food, our foods really is come from Central America, is maybe makes us more understanding our culture also, that the relation between two countries, between cohesion diplomatic, can bring us know our history better. And in this moment, I said thank you for Mr. Ambassador, His Excellency Ambassador Mexico, Armando Alvarez, for the valuable support for this webinar, and also for my friends from Universidad de Colima, Mexico, Mr. Ruth Chel Sukias Elizalde, and also Mr. Jesus Solis Marin that give a speaker, give something to this webinar. Thank you. Terima kasih. Muchas gracias.
We sincerely thank you, Dr. Eko Widodo, for your valuable insights. Thank you for highlighting the shared similarities and close relations through an important part of both nations' gastronomy, Chile. And now I would like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Rafael Covarrubias, the Dean of the School of Tourism at Universidad de Colima. And I would like to invite him to deliver his welcoming remarks.
Hello, everyone. Good morning there in Jakarta, Indonesia. Good evening here in Colima. It is my pleasure to meet you again. My thanks for making this so significant event possible, celebrating this relations anniversary among our countries. His Excellency, Mr. Armando Alvarez, our ambassador at Indonesia, Dr. Eko Widodo, and Mrs. Ana Cecilia Garcia Valencia, our head of international relations at the University of Colima. On behalf of the School of Tourism, please feel yourself very welcome to our university, and in particular to this webinar. It is an honor for us to be part of this triple initiative among the Mexican Embassy at Indonesia, Atma Jaya Catholic University, and of course the University of Colima. The University of Colima is the main higher education institution in the region, and currently one of the main axes of our president, Dr. Cristian Torres Ortiz, is to enhance the internationalization of our students through an approach to the most multicultural regions, just like Indonesia. In this sense, our students and educators have the opportunity to participate in mobility and dual degree programs at several universities around the world. And in this occasion, Mexican cuisine is the issue that is gathering us. As you know, Mexican cuisine is one of the most recognized in the world. But as Mr. Ambassador and Mr. Widodo mentioned it, we also have a vast influence from Indonesia. We use clover, ginger, turmeric, among others, and our cuisines both are the result of the customs and traditions passed down through generations. Or cuisines both are variations cuisine. So I hope we can continue with further collaboration in this internationalization idea, and that our students and educators may have some exchange experiences in further occasions. I want to thank our professors, Ruth and Jesus, who will be the speakers this morning. And I hope that all the attendants enjoy and learn a lot from this webinar. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you for your warm and gracious welcoming remarks, Dr. Covarrubias. Among our distinguished guests today, we also have with us a representative from the Embassy of Indonesia in Mexico, the Cultural Attaché Anggraini Widyastuti. We are deeply grateful for your kind presence. It also has been a pleasure welcoming all the participants. And to remember this very special event, I would like to invite everyone to turn on their camera, as we will take some screenshots of this webinar. And with the lead of Ms. Zarin from Atma Jaya University, let us take a visual reminder of this day.
Good morning, everyone. I will take picture of us. I would like invite everyone to open their camera. We have 2 pages of audience. I will start with the first page first. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. We're still waiting for those who are opening their camera. Okay, I think that's all. 1, 2, 3. Big smile. And for the second page. 1, 2, 3. Big smile. Okay, thank you, everyone. I give it back to Miss Afianita.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sarin, and thank you everyone for your excitement in participating in our session today. We will begin our exploration of flavors with two speakers from Universidad de Colima, and after the presentations, I would like to remind you that we will be having a questions and answer session, so please do not hesitate to prepare your burning questions. Without further ado, let us invite our first speaker, Mrs. Ruth Jael Suyes Elizalde. She is professor of the School of Tourism at the University of Colima since 2010, with a degree in tourism management, specializing in tourism organizations, and a master's degree in tourism competitiveness. She is a participant in the Mexico-China Business Training Program and holds a diploma in social research from the University of Colima and currently studying community development. She teaches the subjects of Introduction to the Study of Tourism, Tourism Heritage, Business Tourism, Event Management, and Tour Guide Seminar. In addition to all of those, she collaborates in the development of educational tours, focusing on the traditional cuisine of Colima with a sustainable approach. Mrs. Ruth, the time and space is yours.
Thank you for your presentation. Is it possible to present also the chef Jesus Solis? We want to make a presentation together. Is it possible?
Yes, of course. And for that, I think I would also like to introduce Chef Jesus Solis to the audience. Chef Jose de Jesus Solis Marin is a professor and head of the Food and Beverage Laboratory of the School of Tourism at the University of Colima. He is a professor of gastronomy, event management, catering and protocol, food and beverage management. He is also an instructor at the Casserole Gastronomic Institute in Colima for high school. He has technical career and bachelor's degree in gastronomy, and he has experience cooking techniques by specializing in grills and griddles. He's also a specialist in the management of tourism organization with a degree in the gastronomy and senior management, certified in labor competency by the Ministry of Labor in Mexico. He actively participates in the gastronomic events, specializing in the planning, logistic, and preparation of dishes, in addition to collaborating in the training of students for tasting and pairing events. So, Chef Jesus Solis Marin, I would like to invite you also to join us in the spotlight. The time and space is yours.
Yes, thanks. Hello. It's nice to stay here with you again. We have the opportunity the first time talk about Mexican cuisine too. Now we are two professors here, and it's gonna be. I hope you enjoy this because we're gonna discuss all topics and the same way together. So I hope you really and know there is no difference. Heritage and food is something that work together, and really I'm so excited to stay here with you again. Thanks a lot.
Okay, we are going to start with our presentation. And first of all, good morning to Indonesia. Good evening for Mexico. And thank you for your attendance. Thank you also to the University of Colima for provide these spaces. I think it's very important to make this cultural exchange. This is the opportunity between Indonesia and Mexico to learn about our flavors and our traditions. Okay, and we prepare this presentation with 4 topics. We divided in 4 main topics. the first topic, and we want to work together with you, the perception about Mexican culture. And then how is our Mexican identity? How Mexican express with our heritage? And then Chef Jesus prepared 2 more topics. Do you want to explain what we're going to talk about, Chef Jesus?
Yes, teacher Ruth, of course, we have food as a part of the identity, Mexican cuisine. We're gonna talk about just one region, that is gonna be the western of Mexico. We're gonna find in different states, different dishes, delicious dishes that represent each state of Mexico of this region. We're gonna talk about the mole. That's great, the introduction. Mr. Armando Alvarez, because he talked about the mole, and we're going to talk about the mole again with the different chiles and then different preparations. And we're going to show you a video that that we are preparing enchiladas dulces, that is this represent Colima, and that was prepared for with our students in an event. So it's going to be funny, really, really funny. Thanks, teacher.
Okay. Thank you. And we're going to continue with our first topic, that is perception about Mexican culture. For us as a Mexican, it's really important, and we are curious to know what foreign people think about Mexico. And I will invite you to participate in the chat if it's possible. If you can answer this question, what words best describe the Mexican culture? In one word, you can use 2 or 3 words. When you hear Mexican culture, what comes into your mind? And if it's possible to read in the chat, please help us to respond, to answer this question. We are very interested to read your answers, because we want to share information. We are going to talk about general information about Mexico and all the elements of heritage. But what do you think when you read the word Mexican culture? Okay. Chef, we're going to read the answers, and please help me to identify what words are related with gastronomy. And I'm going to identify what words are related with heritage. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Somebody wrote the first that was spicy, and that's great. I read spicy, colorful, as delicious too. That's great.
You know, in Mexico, we have different kind of colors, but we use one word to say Mexican pink. And it's related to a very colorful word. We can read also Maya and Aztec. Thank you for those who are participating.
And when you talk about the Maya culture, we're talking about the same way with the food. Yeah, we know that can find in Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and this kind of states that we prepare traditional food of the Mayas, like cochinita pibil. We're going to talk about later about the cochinita pibil, and this is a way to cook the pre-Hispanic way to cook this kind of pork.
Yes, and we can read the word contrasting. Yes, because we have different elements, but they are different, and also they share something in common. Color, again, and the spicy. Diversity is another word.
We can read here.
Wants to participate?
We can read here colorful, and talking about the dishes, we have many colors on the dishes and our plates, and the same way we decorate the dishes because of the vegetables, the sauces that we have It's different when you talk about the enchiladas verdes, enchiladas dulces, enchiladas rojas, kind of color. The color is different and the flavors too. Come on, guys, help us to write there. We wanna make a conversation together. We wanna know what you think about the Mexican culture, the Mexican food. Spicy, yes, it's so spicy, but not at all.
Chef Solis, I think we all agree that colors are part of our identity and also the history of the Mayans and Aztec we are going to talk about later. The use of some ingredients. And we have a mixture of cultures. Yes, thank you for your comments. And we want to make a contrast with your opinions and also other opinions from Mexicans. We prepare a video for you. We ask teachers from the University of Colima and also students participate with your opinion, with what is to be Mexican? What is the meaning of being Mexican?
I like this answer that is influenced by many cultures and influencing other culture because it's when talking about the cocina fusión or fusion cuisine, and we can talk about this later too.
Okay. We want to share this video and maybe you can identify what is to be a Mexican.
I'm sorry, the sounds not came out.
I'm sorry, you can listen.
Oh, there's no sound in the video.
My name is Zoraida. For me, being a Mexican means delicious food, dances, cultural celebrations, as well as people with a unique sense of humor.
I think every Mexican is a very gentle person, very gentle people, warm, we're a mixture of cultures, and I think they are very related to our family and to our friends.
Hello everyone, my name is Saul. For me, being Mexican is to be unstoppable.
We being Mexican represents to embrace our heritage. And for me, that is a sense of unity and pride.
Hi, today my teacher asked me what does it exactly mean to be Mexican, and I can say being Mexican is feel happy and alive with all our traditions, make friends everywhere you go, because being Mexican is a pleasure.
Well, for me, being Mexican means to have a barbecue with my friends, enjoying a very, very good tequila.
Being a Mexican means caring for people, being hospitable, enjoying life, enjoying family, enjoying food, and sharing cultural aspects, sharing traditions, treating people the way you want to be treated.
Hi, I am Vanessa, and it means the union of a society which, without being directly related, are considered a family.
For me, being Mexican is belonging to a diverse culture in terms of traditions, colors, and flavors. where in each corner has its own artistic way of expressing itself, and they do it with pride and joy.
Okay, we saw different opinions about what does it mean to be Mexican, and we can identify some answers that are related with our heritage and also are related with gastronomy in specific. And we can select some words like the family. It's very important for us, the sense of humor, and also there was another answer about the sense of humor. The joyful to be in Mexico, to live in Mexico, to have the opportunity to share with friends. And I want to say and want to point out that as soon as we meet somebody, we use some words. We use some words like a close relative. Here we have a word to say primo. It's like cousin, or amigo, amiga, that is your friend. As soon as we know people, we want to share our hospitality. And I'd like one phrase, Chef Solis, maybe you know about this phrase, like mi casa es tu casa. We want to make all our friends to feel comfortable and also feel free, like you are in my home, but it is also your home. What can you say about the answers that we saw in the video?
I like one answer more than others, but when the teacher talk about the barbecue, when you get with your friends, you meet with your friends, and you can cook on the grill, and you can taste tequila or mezcal or beer. It's something that we make every weekend, almost, not all the people. But when it's a weekend, we are hoping, please, weekend, to meet with our friends, with our family. When you talk about us, the hospitality, it's for example, we have many friends in other states that come to Colima, and in this moment you said, hey, come to my home, come to my house, let's go to cook something. I wanna cook something for you that we prepare here in Colima. And the other person said, I want to prepare something that we make in Guadalajara. No, so that's interchange of the culture, interchange the cuisine. I love it because get fun. Obviously, you drink just 1, 2 tequilas, and that's enough. Yes, and you can get fun, you love, and you can share many moments. Or when talking about the culture, for example, you say, oh, what do you do on weekends there in Tamaulipas or there in Los Cabos? You know, we prepare different things like this. No, in Colima, no, in Colima we meet with the friends. Let's go to the sea, we go to the beach. We can go to the mountains. We can do many things here, and the people really love Colima when come here. But really, just hospitality, cuisine, interchange culture. I love it that, and obviously the part of tequila, I love it too.
And I want to also share with you and with all our participants that one answer that to be Mexican is to be unstoppable. In many senses, what is to mean to be Mexican in our school, in our life, in the festivities also, many foreign students and visitors say that Mexicans party all day. And if we look at the calendar, we have many festivities and festivals, and we only look for a reason to share with friends. The meaning of being Mexican is to be proud of where we live and where we have. And there is a key word. We're going to continue with our presentation that is related to heritage. And there is a key concept, the word heritage. And it is important to know that heritage is related what we receive from the past from our parents, and is composed from history, and it's created for people who lived before and people we are living now. And it is important to preserve it for the future and to preserve and to share the history of Mexico and our traditions. And this, in this case, we are going to share with you what is our feeling, what we feel to be in Mexico. And we want to invite you also to know our traditions and our way of life. We're going to continue with the next slide because what factors determine the concept of heritage in Mexico? I think for us it's really important the sense of being part of a family, the past generations. We have two important events here in Mexico. There are many events in history that shape our way of life, but I think pre-Hispanic civilizations and also the colonial moment when Spain came here in Mexico make or help us to know what is our heritage and also what are our assets. We're going to talk about this, some examples about what our ancient civilizations gave us, but it is also a social construction. We combine past generation, but also what we are today, and we are still building our heritage, our traditions, because the heritage is dynamic. We need to move on into new forms of living, and then we are building our heritage. And here we have one picture in the next slide that we want to share. How is the way we learn about our heritage? Those moments in family. In Mexico, we wait for that special time on table where we share some food and we tell histories and we talk about how was our day, and maybe we heard some stories. And there is a special moment from Mexicans. Chef Solis, why is important this time in Mexico?
I love it. I remember, for example, I'm here in Colima and I go to Veracruz to visit my family. And the first thing that we have to do is let's go to the table and eat. Obviously, you know that the grandmother when prepared some traditional dishes for family, and this is this moment we share adventure, which we can share many things that happen in your life or you're living in another country. For example, for my family, it's so necessary to meet us, for example, in Christmas. When we are in Christmas, all family, they have to be there. Okay, each familiar prepare different dishes and we share on the table. Okay, we talk about Mexican cuisine, since the nopales, we can prepare many sauces, enchiladas, we prepare different dishes about pork with turkey too, the same way sometimes, yes. But it's important because at the same time that we're talking, that we're laughing, enjoying this moment, we share the food, we can taste different flavors. For example, we go there in Veracruz, prepare something that the name is picaditas. Okay, here in Colima, we said another word like sopito, sope. Yeah, it's some different, but with my grandmother, they prepare in different way, yes? With beans, with sauce, with lard, okay, with the dove at the same time. So when the grandmother prepared this in the table, this environment becomes something great. Sometimes when you can cry, but with emotion to cry, to stay there with the family. And when you taste some dish, the dish the same time make you cry, but because of the emotion. I love it, I love it. And sometimes I miss my dishes that I prepare my family, but I can prepare sometimes dishes here and and my friends, teachers, taste these flavors, and the same way with all people that get together just to taste these dishes. And this is becoming a party later, yes, but it's important to stay with the family on the table, okay? And just said, oh, my school was great today. That's enough, and continue eating tacos, eating many things that we can prepare the chef with the brothers. But I love it. I love this part, yes, of the heritage, of the culture, of the cuisine. That I love it. I love it. I really love it, teacher.
Yes, and I think there is a special character here, the grandmother and also the mothers who share their knowledge, and they use those special recipes for a special moment too. If you are sick, they prepare you a special food. If you are sad, or if you are happy, there is a moment to share with you this special dish. Okay, and we're going to continue, and also all the family members are getting involved in learning about those recipes, special recipes. Okay? And talking about the heritage, we have different types: natural heritage and also tangible and intangible heritage. But I want to point out how Mexican identity and or expressions came from our heritage. It is important to say that Mexico is one of the most diversity places in the world. We have a great diversity. We are rich in different resources. We have different type of climates and geological conditions, different type. I can say that Mexico, it's like a world. If you can visit different states, and you can, even here in Colima, where we live, we have like different type of weathers and different type of environments. And those elements are that natural heritage that our ancestors or families take care of, because they were thinking in us to share that natural environment. They shape our identity. It shapes our identity, and help us to take advantage of the resources provided by the nature. Okay. We have some pictures here about different natural heritage recognized by the UNESCO. But I want to share with you this example. Here in Colima, we have a place called Zacualpan. It's like 30 minutes from here, from our university by car. And they have two special weathers, like dry weather and the season of rain. And there is a special fruit. If we can change the slide to see the pictures. And we can see how the climate, or environment shapes the way we live. We eat by the biodiversity, okay? As you can see in the pictures, we have some raisins there, and it grows in the dry season. But all the community get together to recollect those fruits and then prepare dishes according to the fruit. But also in race season, they learn how to design these trams. They share their knowledge to the younger habitants, and they use these trams to catch some river shrimps. And they, as soon as they catch those shrimps, they make a special dish called enredadas. Have you heard about enredadas? They use different type of spice ingredients, and they use the shrimp, and they prepare a party in the Holy Week, in a special season. And we can see how the weather, how their tradition, their knowledge, it shapes the way we express, the way we eat, the way we live. The river is a very important element, and they tell us that they are the guardians of this river, and they try to keep it as safe as possible. And also they share how important are the natural resources for all the habitats. Okay. We're going to continue with the next slide. As we mentioned before, as some of the participants wrote about our heritage, we have legacy from different civilizations in Mexico. We have hundreds of civilizations, different. I think, Chef, in different regions, we have history of pre-Hispanic civilizations. But I think even we have a lot of civilizations. There are very important civilizations that are Aztecs and Mayan civilizations. And they gave us this legacy, this construction that are in those archaeological zones that we can visit and we can learn about our history. And it is a proud to receive visitors from different parts of the world to learn about our history. And there is a contrast between our history and also the colonial sites. As you can see, here we have the Templo Mayor, or the main temple here in Mexico City. And next to this temple is the main cathedral of Mexico. Okay, we have different ingredients here, the history of civilization and also the history from Spain, but we can see also the modernity, the new era of Mexicans here in Mexico City. And also we have the city of Guanajuato, and we can see examples. This is the main temple also, some pictures of skulls. And we can see how death is also important in the history, in the tangible heritage here in Mexico. You told me once that the day of death is really important here in Mexico, Chef.
If you remember the last time I talked about the Mayans, when the people write their Aztecs and Mayans, that identify the Maya with another kind of dishes that we use. You said something about the civilization too, the pre-Hispanic, and we have after the colony. For example, this dish, cochinita pibil, that we can, everybody knows about this dish. But for example, the preparation of the recado rojo, that is the name of the sauce, we prepare with the main ingredient that is the achiote, okay, and different spices, and with orange juice. This is preparation of the pre-Hispanic, and then the pork is because of the Spain people. Yes, we know that our people prepare with the different birds, okay, different animals that we have in houses or hunting. Yes, but the pork is because of the Spain. Yeah, and the preparation of the recado rojo, that is the name of the sauce, is from pre-Hispanic. So this is the conversation they have, the cuisine beyond the time. No,
I must say that this place, Calakmul, Campeche, Mexico, I haven't visited yet. I want to visit this place, but even I haven't seen it before. I feel proud of that sense of belonging, to feel the identity and to have the history. Even I live in Colima, no matter this place is in Campeche, we can share that heritage, and we feel identified as a Mexicans with our history, pre-Hispanic history, and also from the colonial history. And also we have, we can remember natural heritage and how shape our way of living, the way we eat, and also the way we live with our material heritage, but also we have intangible heritage. We want to talk about what are our expressions as a Mexicans. Please, can we continue with the next slide? We have intangible heritage, and as another participant said, Mexico, it's full of colors, and we can, as we can see, how we express our joy, how can we express our culture throughout the colors, throughout the different craft that we design. But these examples are just the manifestation or the expression of history of the learning generation from generation, that they learn how to design, how to paint, how to build these expressions. Here in Mexico, we're proud of having different type of festivities. Even there are a lot of Catholics and Christians, and they believe in the religion. It doesn't matter if you are not Catholic, but you feel as a Mexican because of those festivities. As we can see in the first example, the religion is very important, and many of the festivities in every town, in every city is related with religion. And there is a special week or weeks, even a month, where they celebrate on a special saint and a special belief. And also we join that celebrations with music. And when we are celebrating, mariachi, I think, is one of the most famous expressions. No matter if you are sad, you can sing with a mariachi and you can express. Here we have Mexicans because they are singing even if they are sad. We have a very famous song that it's called Cielito Lindo. Maybe you have heard about that song, but it says, ay, 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 canta y no llores. It doesn't matter, sing and don't cry. And we look for the way to feel happy, even difficult moments. And also we express our identity with music and with dances, some folkloric dances, like as we can see, we have different type of dances according to the region of Mexico, and they use special colors to express. And they tell you stories with how they dance, and they present you what Mexico means, okay? Entonces, then we are going to continue with Chef Solis, because here we have a special celebration in Comala, in Colima, and this is related with the example of religion, festivity, and also the expression of what we eat, what we drink. Thank you, Chef.
Now, yes, of course, we want to talk about the food as a part of identity. While the food itself is a material substance, humans classify and categorize foods differently based on cultural differences and family traditions. Okay, can you tell me, please, do you know which are the most important ingredients of Mexican cuisine? If you can write, please, on the chat, what are those Mexican ingredients, important ingredients of Mexico, please? You can help us to write there. Pico de gallo is a sauce, yes, and we prepare with the main, that is the tomato. No, with ingredients. We have different seeds, yes, corn, that's right. Corn is the main ingredients that we use, in our preparations and to many dishes. The funny thing here is that almost all dishes we prepare with dough, with the corn dough, with chili, with some protein and cream cheese, in different ways. With the chili, thanks. Well, if you can you describe, Ruth, please, how you made enchiladas verdes?
Okay, we have a special recipe in our family that we use green tomato and we use cilantro. Can you help me with the word in English? Also chili, green chili. We mix all the ingredients and we use tortilla. We use oil and then pour out the sausage and we use chicken and cheese and also some lettuce, but it is important to be spicy.
Yes, of course. Maybe one of the Mexican people that we have here, can help us to describe the chilaquiles verdes. Somebody, please, want to describe the chilaquiles verdes? Can you help us, please? Or anybody here knows the preparation of the chilaquiles verdes?
I must say that is also tortilla, green tomato, and cheese, and cream, chicken if you want. Okay, are the same ingredients.
Yes, it's a funny thing. Yes, because it's the same ingredients, but we prepare in a different way. And it's not one, it's not two, it's different dishes. We work and we have a festival. We were working with our students to prepare one dishes for the one presentation of the book in Colima, and the teacher took the picture, and I love this picture because it's talking about the mole. It's in an artistic way. Yes, we have here chiles, we have tortilla, dry chiles, tortilla, cinnamon, different seeds that the teacher wrote in the chat. This is the main ingredients to prepare mole. Okay, what do you eat and where? Okay, what happened here? The mole, we prepare mole in all parts of Mexico. Yes, but we have different ways to prepare the mole. If you remember the last time that we have the explanation of Mexican cuisine, we are talking about the insects. One moles of different parts prepare the mole with insects too. And the red sauce. One student is from Guerrero. He prepared the enchiladas with the insects. The flavor was so great. Obviously change the flavors a lot. All different kind of moles. We have different colors. The people here tell us about the colorful, yes, of Mexico, and it's the same in the moles. We have mole verde, we have mole rojo, we have mole amarillo, we have mole rosado, different colors: amarillo, red, green, pink, black, sweet, spicy, bitter. Yes, it changed because of these ingredients that each region have. You talk about the habitats, okay, in the heritage topic, but it's important. It is so important because we have one chile in Oaxaca that with this dry chile is only you can use this chile only in Oaxaca. No grow up in other, don't grow up in other states, okay, just in Oaxaca. So is this talk about the heritage of Oaxaca that identify this chile just to prepare the mole oaxaqueño. We have mole in Puebla, we have mole in Guerrero, we have mole in Veracruz. There are different moles. The basic ingredients that to prepare this mole is that we can find in this picture, that dry chiles. We have a lot of different dry chiles too. They name like a guajillo, that is the most useful chile that we prepare many sauces. and others that they change the color, like cascabel, like the chile mulatto is another that we use to prepare different sauces. Okay, so the mole identified to Mexico in all parts of the world, but we have traditions to prepare, yes, the mole. Since when you are toasting the chiles, and you can fry the chiles, or just you can boil it. Yeah, some moles we can toast the spices, and other moles don't toast the spices, and in other moles we can fry with the large the moles. When you talk about enchiladas, we have the moladas, yes, that we change here the tortilla, yes, in other ingredient, well, another dish imported in Mexico, the tacos, yes. If you can see in different platforms on video, we we have many videos about the different tacos that we have in Mexico. Yeah, maybe each state of Mexico have 2-3 tacos that identify this this region or this state. I have a question for you, Teacher Ruth. What is your favorite taco?
I must say that the tripita
Yes.
tacos,
Tripita tacos.
that are made from the inside of the beef of the cow. Those are delicious.
Pretty delicious. And the people that we are can help us to tell us what kind of tacos do you know? Please, can you write there that you listen at your taste, or that you watching a video that you said, oh, that's delicious, al pastor? Yes, like the picture that we have here is tacos al pastor. Yeah, all people love tacos al pastor. We use sometimes pineapple there, yes, inside the taco, and change the flavors, because we know that the meat is some bitter when you eat the taco, and the sweetie part is with the pineapple. Another tacos that you know, the carnitas, oh, barbacoa, that's great. The carnitas, barbacoa. We have something new that was some in the, you can find platforms like quesabirrias, okay, in TikTok and Reels, the famous quesabirrias, because we use the cheese, the tortilla, to make a quesadilla and prepare with birria, that similar preparation that we see, what we can watch in this in the next slide, that we talk about the birria of part of Jalisco. Yes, you can see here La Tacopedia. Okay, that is a book that you can find many kind of tacos of Mexico. Yes, we want to present a video. This video is of our students' preparation here in our kitchen here in the laboratory of tourism, the Faculty of Tourism. We work together again, the teacher Ruth and me, to prepare and to get this festival, to go to the festival, present the dishes. My students prepare the enchiladas dulces, that is a dish that represent Colima. So this is the video that you can see. I'm going to describe some parts of the video. Do you know what is the preparation of? Please. Enchiladas dulces, sweet enchiladas of Colima, from Colima. We have stuff, okay? We have the tortilla, we have the mole, the sweet mole, and we have the stuff. The stuff we're going to prepare with different kind of vegetables. We prepare with the meat, that is pork and beef. And we prepare with spices, okay? And we can use lard, or we can use oil to the preparation. In this moment, the students are preparing the mise en place. Okay, the mise en place, you know that in techniques of the cuisine, is prepare everything after cook. So they are chopping, see, and in the name is brunoise, okay, in a technique way. And the tomato, we have, you see, we have the potato, we have the onion, we have tomato. We want to prepare with onion and then with garlic, okay? There are all vegetables that we're going to use to prepare the stuff, yes? But at the same time, we use it like almond, okay? We have to boil it, and then we have to crush with the ice, with water to get a peel. Yes, then we have to peel it and they have to chop it. This is the mise en place, okay? The mise en place, the all ingredients that I told you, the vegetables, here's the garlic, the almond, and the different herbs, and to seasonate like salt and pepper. We use here oil, and then we're gonna add lard, or the pork lard, that get this flavor, that Mexican flavor at the same time you're cooking, okay? So first we're gonna add the vegetables. Obviously, each cook, each traditional cook, every people maybe can do the different way. Yes, some people first fry the meat and then add the vegetables. Some people first fry the vegetables and then add the meat. Okay, so we try to fry the ingredients since the more hard to the more soft. Yeah, to get a good good cook on the vegetables. Okay, we add the onion. We add almost at the end the tomato, because it's a fast cook of the tomato. Yes, we have the garlic there, and we have mixed all ingredients there. Maybe, I don't know, like was there like a 1.5 hour cooking, because we use 2 pots there. And after vegetables, we this is the almond. Okay, we made the process, okay, and instead of the chopping the almond, and then we have to eat the beef and the pork, yes, like this, and we season it with salt, pepper, and we reserve this. To prepare the mole, I told you about the dry chilies. They are peeling the chilies, putting the seeds, okay, and after that they have to toast it, and then toasted we have to boil it. Yeah, we're using here 2 different chiles. The name is here in Colima said pasilla seca, okay, and the guajillo. We're measuring the other ingredients like a cinnamon, green pepper, big pepper. We have oregano, laurel, and different spices. Okay, and we toast the spices, and then the toasted spices then add to the sauce to prepare the mole. Okay, we have all the spices here to prepare the mole. You can see that we have different spices there. We toast. You have to take care, okay, because you don't have to burn the chili. If you burn the chili, get a bad flavor there. It's become a sour mole. Yes, and we don't want a sour mole. So getting the hot water, we're gonna boil in a minute the chiles just to get more soft. Okay, and then when we are ready, they go into the blender. Okay, yeah. Now we have toasting the different spices. And the same way, take care, please. Don't burn the spices, because then the same way the sour flavor get there in the mole. So we toast some vegetables there with the other ingredients. Let's go to blend it, and then we blend. We have to boil it, but after that we have prepared with the lard too. we're gonna put in a sauce, what the lard, and then we have to fry the sauce. We'll strain the sauce there. We want to prepare the cream, the cheese that we put in the top of the enchilada. Here is the mole. The mole was boiling like 2 hours and a half. Yes, we are chopping here the lettuce that we're gonna put on the it's like the garnish of the enchiladas. Yes, you have radish here. We have to cut in a slices, slim slices. Okay, just take care with the fingers, please. Okay. This is the way that the students were preparing the enchiladas. We put one part of the mole in a surface, and then we have to put the stuff and then roll it. And because we were preparing many, we prepared like 300 enchiladas. Okay, there's another dishes that other French chefs in other school prepare many different dishes, like el ceviche de parota that we prepare here in Colima. And at the end, we put all ingredients on the enchiladas. And this was the event that we have and prepared these enchiladas, that all people of enchiladas is the team that we prepare all delicious dishes and the delicious enchiladas. I hope you wrote the recipe, yes, to know, or if you want to prepare in another time the enchiladas, is in this way. Yes, it's our way to the research school. Next, please. So I told you that we have different kind of moles. The name of this mole is sweet mole or mole dulce. Know that we know this in Colima. Yes. Talking about just the Western region, okay, we have many dishes. The Western regions are the Nayarit, Jalisco, Colima, and Michoacan. There are 4 states that we can find on the Western region of Mexico. And there are one of the dishes where we can find there. For example, the enchiladas dulces that you know. Now you know the preparation of the enchiladas dulces. We have the ceviche de Colima, or ceviche colimote, that is the name of 2. We prepare with the many ingredients, like obviously the fish. We have different vegetables like onion, tomato. We have their coriander, and then the chili. Yes, and so place of this part, we add carrot. Yes, and the others that we have there, and the first main is from Nayarit. This is another kind of ceviche. In Mexico, we can different ceviches. If you go to Acapulco, in Acapulco you eat a different ceviche. We prepare with the tomato sauce and the ketchup. Yes, in Veracruz, we prepare the ceviche in a different way. And you can find here in Nayarit a ceviche, but this with a dry shrimp. Okay. We have another dish as this ceviche of shrimp ceviche, but this is dry ceviche, dry shrimp ceviche. This is from Nayarit. Next, okay, we have the carnitas. Some people wrote here that the tacos de carnitas is the best for here. So we have carnitas that is from Michoacan. We said that Michoacan have the best carnitas that you can taste. At the end, and we're talking now about Jalisco, we have here the birria. I told you about the quesadillas, if you remember. Okay, it's another preparation that we can find in Jalisco. Obviously, we have many dishes of can region, but we identify these ones to each state that I told you. The next, please. Of the dishes that we have here, and the last slide, can you tell me, Ruth, what is your favorite of these dishes, please?
I have the opportunity to live in Nayarit, Jalisco, and Colima. And also I spent some time in Michoacan. And I must say that all the dishes has its flavor. and all are good for me because they have their special recipes. That's what we talked before, that every person, I think our legacy and our heritage, it's subjective because every person give its personal, their personal touch. And I think all the food is delicious, but now that I live in Colima, I really enjoy I like to eat sweet enchiladas.
I love it, really, really, I love it too, the enchiladas. Thanks, teacher, thanks. Here, Mexican cuisine, in the phrase, you are what you eat is correct, okay? We have the some doctors and nutritionals people that they say, could you read, please? And that you are what you eat, that is correct, is not correct. The correct is you eat what you are. Depends of the place that you go, is the thing that you're gonna eat. I'm gonna go to fast of this. We have a map here. Okay, we can find in different state different dishes that represent this state. If you go to the north, we have the tacos de pescado. Okay, this is a taco of fish and the shrimps too. Then if we go to the center of Mexico, we have carnitas. We have there we have michiote that's prepared in the center of Mexico too. The cochinita is near the Yucatan, Quintana Roo. Okay, we have the enchiladas, we have the birria here in the part of the western of Mexico. We can find different dishes. And the last, okay, we have is almost similar to a pizza, if you can see there, but it's tlayuda. Tlayuda is from Oaxaca. Is of my favorite dishes. Okay, really I love it. When I go to Oaxaca, I taste this and I have to eat it. Yes or no, I have to eat it. Did you taste one of dishes before, teacher?
From the Pacific coast, most of the dishes are from the Pacific coast.
Okay. Yes, the teacher is from Guerrero. I am from Veracruz, so we travel to different other states, so we can prepare many dishes. Yes, teacher.
Yes, and I hope you can imagine all the flavors of Mexico with these pictures, trying to imagine all the mixtures, all the histories that are told by the recipes. And we want to thank you for the opportunity to share our experience here. I hope you enjoy this presentation. I wrote how to say thank you in Indonesian. If I'm wrong, please correct me with the next slide. Is that correct? Terima kasih, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and we want to thank you for the opportunity, and we are open to questions. If you have any questions, you can write it or you can ask if you are.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot of you, students, teachers, and all people that are here. I love when I talk with the teacher Ruth when we work together. And the same way, this is our first time to explain together, and that's what was great, really great. If you wanted the recipe, you can find it. Yes, the enchiladas dulces, you can ask for them, and really are so delicious. Thanks a lot for your attention. The word is yours.
Yes, thank you so much, Mrs. Ruth Rodriguez Elizalde and Chef Jesus Solis Marin for an insightful and engaging, captivating presentation. Thank you also for your deep knowledge of the Mexican culinary history and our understanding of the complexities and richness of Mexican cuisine. Now, as mentioned by Mrs. Ruth, we will proceed to the highly anticipated question and answer session. This is an opportunity for all of the participants to engage with our esteemed speakers and maybe ask for some questions, share their thoughts. You are welcome to use the raise hand feature to ask your question directly to the speakers, or type in your questions in the chat box, whether in Bahasa Indonesia or in English, and we will do our best to address as many as possible within the allocated time. I would also like to remind you that the link to the attendance form is shared on the chat box, so don't forget to fill it out with your full name to receive an e-certificate from the committee. So go ahead, if there is any questions, we are very welcome to receive them. Okay, I think I see a raised hand from Juan Sebastian, or maybe if it's Indonesian, Juan Sebastian.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so thank you so much for the explanation, for the opportunity for me to ask. One question for me is, as what's that? What to call it? In general, is there regarding the Mexican cuisine in general, is there any? I mean, yeah, the Mexican culture itself has been built from as a mixture from the Spanish culture who came from the past, and also the Mexican culture, so such as in from the indigenous. And so, my question is there any concrete difference or any concrete evidence that shows the what's that, the influence of the indigenous Mexican to the Mexican cuisine, apart from the Spanish influence to the cuisine and the culture of Mexico itself? Thank you and gracias.
So if I may recap the question from Juan, the question is regarding to the culture of Mexico in general, and also, of course, in the gastronomy of Mexico. Are there any concrete examples of first the influence of Spanish colonialism, and then the other is the concrete example of the influence of indigenous culture in both Mexican culture in general and the dishes? Is that correct, Juan?
Let me adjust it a bit.
Yeah.
My question is about the only it's only about the indigenous one. Yeah, I mean, we all know about the Spanish ones, but the one that I need to know in depth is the one about the indigenous one, as it's not really in general, it's not really exposed so far, based on my experience, and so I would like to know more about that. Thank you.
Yes, so the concrete evidence of the influence of Mexican indigenous culture in the Mexican culture in general, and also the dishes.
Okay, for example, I listen that we said about the Spanish food in Mexico. For example, I'm from Veracruz, and from Veracruz we eat fish that the name is fish, Veracruzan, or pescado veracruzana fish of the Veracruzana fish, and the prepare is the similar preparation of the another dish that we have in Spain, that is pescado or fish a la vizcaína. Okay, both prepared with tomato, with the chiles, with the onion and olives. Okay, and we prepare almost of the same way. Change the fish and change a little the preparation, but we have many influence of Spain to prepare different things. For example, we go to Michoacán. Michoacán is in a state that have influence of French, and we can mix dishes, French dishes with the Mexican dishes. And talking about the Spain, for example, in Veracruz, we prepare arroz a la tumbada. This is the rice we prepare with the soup of the fish, with rice, with the tomato, and different seafood. And if you know those ingredients, is similar to prepare the paella there in Spain. There's the influences that I have with Spain, almost the same dishes that prepare there to Mexico. I don't want to say something more, teacher.
Yes, what about the influence of the indigenous culture of Mexico, Chef Jesus? Maybe the influence from the Aztec culture or Mayan culture that we can see today in the Mexican culture or Mexican dishes. Is there any kind of examples that you can give us?
Yes, for example, we have many desserts and drinks. When we talk about the pozole is a drink that we prepare with the corn. Okay, they toast the corn with when add to the drink something like the sauces. I told you about the recado rojo to make the cochinita pibil. They prepare with the different ingredients that the name is recado rojo, recado white recado, black recado, and the red recado. All the preparation when we're making the dough to prepare tortillas, the preparation, the pozole, for example, when we're boiling the corn, is the preparation that we have of the Hispanic people. Yes, all the sauces. We have many sauces that they prepare with the different, that the name is metate in Mexico. Okay, we smash all the ingredients in the metate, and then we mix it and prepare the sauces that we know that in Mexico, like say adobos or moles. The mole is a pre-Hispanic preparation with another ingredients that have the people there in the pre-Hispanic. But the chile, the vegetables, we smash it with the metate. So the sauces, the dough, the use of the corn, or the preparation of different dishes with corn, the sauces. This is the way that the Hispanic here in Mexico prepare with these ingredients.
I would like to add also that even our roots are from ethnic and indigenous civilizations. We're trying to go back to plant those in cornfields and to use corn and to use pumpkin and to use different type of vegetables that are used in the milpa. We use the word milpa. And from the heritage, we're trying to use those ingredients. And in some places, in some communities, they are trying to write special recipes, but also Mexican is diversity. We have not only influenced by Spain, we have a lot of cultures. And I think the most important influence by Spain is the use of pork. And we have special dishes that we mix indigenous with Spain, like the use of corn and pork. And we have this delicious dish that is called pozole. And we have a lot of influence, but I think we used corn, tomato, avocado, and other types of birds. And that is the answer why Mexico is great diversity, has a lot of diversity in their cuisine.
Okay, thank you so much, Chef Jesus, Mrs. Ruth, for the answer. So, Juan, I hope it is clear that in Mexico they use both the heritage that happened in the pre-Hispanic time and also the influence from the Spanish, such as the use of pork. And up until now, Mexico is still trying to preserve the pre-Hispanic heritage. For example, as mentioned by Mrs. Ruth, from the use of milpa in the contemporary setting, such as today. Is there any more questions from the participants?
You're welcome, John.
Okay, there are two more questions, and I think we will address those before closing our session. The first one is, oh wait, just one question from Katie and also Pak Eko. So, Mr. Eko Widodo.
Okay,
if
thank you, Chef Jesus and Ruth. It's interesting for me, and that's in Indonesia. In the past, our indigenous or traditional cuisine, some is contain that cannabis, cannabis, and now cannabis is forbidden by our governments. So some of this ingredient is disappear in our cuisine. But in the Mexico, do you have some thing like that? The case from Indonesia in your cuisines?
Chef Jesus or Mrs. Ruth, maybe one of you would like to answer the question from Dr. Eko Widodo. Is there any ingredients that was previously used in
and now
traditional time? Yes.
Yes, but now it's forbidden by government because it includes some of the marijuana or the ingredient that now is forbidden by government, like cannabis, like sometimes is the like thing.
Peyote, no?
Still mute.
Oh,
maybe we have the permissions now. It's as we said before, all traditions are a social construction, and maybe before it was forbidden, and as for our family is prohibited.
Yes.
They told us histories about how bad are those ingredients, forbidden ingredients that make you maybe to behave in a different way. But now I think we are socially different. We have different thoughts, and we are changing. Now maybe they are preparing some creams, some beverage, some. I have heard about some like cupcakes.
Yes.
Chef, if you can help me, some made with chocolate and this ingredient. And I think young people like these ingredients, and they are changing the way they think about these ingredients.
Because I know it's about a cola leaf. Cola is maybe in the past is normal for the traditional ingredient, but now it's forbidden. It is true? I don't know, but in Indonesia now it's forbidden.
I haven't heard about that ingredient, but I think they have seen, people have seen the effects of some toxic ingredients. But I think other people think they are good. We have heard about the peyote, some mushrooms that make you to feel like some dizziness, and coca leaves. Okay.
Ruth, are you still there?
Okay, give freeze maybe from Ruth.
Chef, Jesus, are you freeze too?
Freeze.
I think they both are freeze. something went wrong there with their internet.
Yes, it seems like we are having a little bit of technical problems with our speakers.
I
But
don't
yes,
know if I could mention a little bit about what Mr. Widodo was asking. Currently, in our popular cuisine, we don't have any dish with forbidden plants or substances as the one you mentioned. Maybe in an informal way, some groups may use this kind of forbidden ingredients. Coca leaves are more used in South America, maybe in the Colombia, Peru region, not in Mexico or Central America. The coca leaves are used for different things in South America because they grow coca plants there. But I have been several times in South America, and I have drink coca leaves tea, for example, and it's not considered like a forbidden or like a drug, because the leaf is not processed as a drug. So in our popular dishes, we don't have any of these kind of ingredients.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Rafael.
Thank you for your question, Dr. Widodo and Dr. Rafael Covarrubias. I think we have our very last questions from Katie. Would you like to ask your question right away? You are welcome to do so.
Sorry for the interruption. We have some technical problems, but we are together now.
Yes, welcome back, Mrs. Ruth and Chef Jesus. Katie, if you may.
Okay, thank you. When I think about Mexico, the first thing that comes to my mind is the vibrant colors, like the traditional clothes. Does that influence the colorful food as well? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question. So, Mrs. Ruth, Chef Jesus, does the colorful Mexican culture also influence the colorfulness of Mexican cuisine?
Yes, of course. That I told you that, for example, in the moles, when we can find pink mole, okay, this pink is the Mexican pink that we said. The rosa mexicano. Yes, the Mexican pink is this kind of pink that we can find really, really colorful, and we can find in the dishes. When you present some dishes, you can say enchiladas, you can say since the chilaquiles there, we have many colors on the dish. We have green, we have red, we have black, white, we have green. Okay, so at the same time, the color of Mexico is the color of the dishes and the preparations.
And we have one in Spanish, we use de la vista nace el amor. And we say in English, when you see it and you love it, because the people use colors that captivate you, that make feel hunger with the color.
Thank you for the answer.
I remember something that I was speaking with the teacher about the last question, the coca leaves, and I remember something. A friend was working in the Selva Lacandona in Chiapas, and they use the coca leaves on the tongue, yes, to get more strength to keep walking on the Selva Lacandona. So these uses that I remember now in Chiapas. In Chiapas, you have another state here in Chiapas, they use it to get more strength to keep walking through the Selva Lacandona.
Thank you, Mr. Jesus.
Okay, thank you so much for the participants for your questions. And as we approach the end of this enlightening seminar, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all our distinguished guests, speakers, and participants for joining us today. Your presence and enthusiasm have made this event a resounding success. And before we conclude, I would like to extend a special thanks to our speakers again, Mrs. Ruth Jael Suyas Elizalde and Chef Jesus Solismarin for sharing their expertise and passion for Mexican cuisine and Mexican culture. Your presentations have been both educational and very inspiring. Finally, I encourage all the participants to stay connected and continue exploring the flavors of Mexico and Indonesia beyond this seminar. Let us embrace this opportunity to celebrate cultural diversity and foster meaningful connections through the universal language of food. On behalf of the organizing committee, I hereby declare the first session of the virtual seminar on exploring the flavors of Mexico and Indonesia officially closed. Thank you once again for your presence and active participation. Have a delightful day ahead, and we will see you on our next session on Indonesian cuisine. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you next week.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
You are
everyone.
invited to Mexico.
Thank you for the presentation.